a new house. You moved from your small village to the city, a dream you had for years. Now you stand in front of your new home, staring at in disbelief. A bright smile spread across your face, your eyes sparkling with happiness and pride. With my small saving, I got such a beautiful and big house. Not bad wine, you are a lucky girl. You giggle softly, excitement bubbling inside you. Taking a deep breath, you step forward and push open the main door. The moment you open it, a sharp gust of wind rushes out, carrying a strange musty smell. It brushes against your face, making you cough a little. Ah, what's that smell? You wave your hand in front of your nose, trying to clear the air before stepping inside. As soon as you enter, your eyes widen. Oh my god, this house is huge, but you wrinkle your nose slightly, so dirty, like no one's cleaned it for years. No worries, now I'm here. You smile proudly, placing your hands on your hips. You look around again, your eyes tracing the old furniture covered in dust. The house still looked magnificent, like a small part of the mansion. You begin exploring every corner of the house. The more you see, the more amazed you become. You can't believe you managed to buy such a big, beautiful home for such a cheap price. When you finally find your bedroom, your jaw drops again. Wow, even the bedroom's big. And the furniture is already here. You quickly start setting up your things, cleaning every corner and arranging your belongings neatly. Once your room looks fresh and cozy, you smile to yourself, feeling proud. Then you head toward the kitchen. It's large, maybe larger than you expected, and surprisingly, everything is already in place. It almost feels like the previous owner left in a hurry without taking anything. You sigh softly, a hint of confusion crossing your face, but you quickly brush it off and start cleaning again. Hours pass, the sun begins to set, but you don't stop. You clean every room, every corner, lost in excitement and joy. By the time you are done, the sky outside has turned orange. You stand in middle of the living room, hands on your waist, breathing out in satisfaction. Ah, finally it's done. You smile at the clean and shiny space, feeling proud of yourself, but then you suddenly feel something strange and chilled. It's as if someone is standing near the railing on the first floor. You lift your gaze slowly, just in time to see a shadow vanish from sight. Your heartbeat quickens for a second. I think I'm just tired. I need coffee. You mutter softly to yourself, shaking your head. You walk toward the kitchen to make yourself a cup of coffee. The sky outside is dim now, and the house feels eerily quiet. You pour yourself coffee, enjoying the warmth of the mug in your hands. But just as you turn to leave, you hear it drip. You stop, the sink tap is running. You frown and glancing over your shoulder. What the? You walk over and close the tap tightly, brushing it off as your own mistake. After taking coffee, you walk toward your room, trying to ignore the strange feelings. You lay down on your freshly made bed, pulling the blanket over yourself. Within minutes, your eyes grow heavy and sleep slowly take over you. Midnight. You are in a deep sleep when suddenly your room window bursts open. The sounds wake you with a start. Rain and lightning crash outside. A cold wind rushes in and a few wet drops splash onto your face and pillow. You sit up, heart pounding, and stumble to the window. Hands shaking, you pull it closed and yank the curtain shut. You turn back toward the bed and freeze. A girl is sitting on your bed, brushing her wet hair with her fingers and humming softly. Her back is to you, you can't see her face, only the pale curve of her shoulders and the slowly steady movement of her hands through long hair. You whisper barely, louder than a breath. Hello? Her hands stop. For a second she pauses, like she's listening. Then she turns slowly to face you. It doesn't look like a human. Shock sweeps through you. Everything goes sharp and loud, your breath, the thump of your heart. You jump up and stumble to the switchboard, fingers fumbling, and flip the lights on. You spin back to the bed, she's gone. No one is here. You stand in the bright room and try to compose yourself. 1 minute ago, someone sat on your bed. You weren't dreaming, you were awake, and yet now, there's nothing. Your mind races. Was it a hallucination? A trick of sleep? You check the whole room quickly, the wardrobe, the window, the corner behind the curtains. No one. You climb back onto the bed, pull the blanket up around your shoulders, and force your voice to stay calm as you whisper to yourself. Ignore her, Ryan. If she doesn't belong to this house, she will go away. If you keep thinking about her and get scared, she will stay. And if she really belongs to this house, then that's a problem. Okay, Wyan, calm down. You hide your face in the blanket and try to breathe slowly. After a while, your muscles loosen. After some time, you fall into deep sleep and start snoring loudly. Morning comes, you wake up, stretch and yawn. What a beautiful morning. Then the memory of last night flashes back. Your face changes, the smile drops. You stand and go to the bathroom to take a shower. Steam wakes your skin. As you wash, you notice a shadow under the bathroom door, a dark shape like someone standing just outside. Your heart jumps. Your mind goes straight to the girl from last night. You pick up the hand shower like a weapon, tied in your grip, and step toward the door, voice low and hard. Who's standing at the door? Listen, if I come out and you're there, I will kill you. So go now and never come back. The shadow at the bottom of the door shifts, then disappears. You blink, a mix of shock and a small strange leaf washing over you. Oh wow, she listened to me, you murmur, half laughing at yourself. You finish your shower, towel off, and step out. The room is empty. You shake your head once, then head to the kitchen to make your breakfast. In the kitchen, you make your breakfast. Today you want to start your work, but your mind drifts back to the last night, the girl who sat on your bed, and the shadow that stood in front of the bathroom door. You take a deep breath, trying to calm your thoughts. Now I understand why they sold me this house at such a cheap price, because something lives here. But who is it? A spirit or something else? And if it's a spirit, then what type? Good or bad? And then you feel goosebumps rise on your skin. The air suddenly turns cold, and before you can move, a faint whisper brushes against your ear, soft, almost like someone breathing close to you. Go out, save your life. You freeze, eyes wide in shock. Slowly you turn around and there's no one behind you. Who's there? Oh please, not again. I didn't want to face these things again. But I think they will never leave me. You sigh heavily, your voice trembling a little. Just then, your phone rings. The sound makes you jump slightly. You glance at the screen, it's your grandma. Your face softens and a small smile appears. You quickly pick up the call. Hello, grandma. You talk to her for a while, laughing softly at her warm voice. You didn't tell her anything about what happened last night. After a few minutes, you end the call and look around the kitchen. Everything is normal again, no wind, no whisper, no strange feeling. I wish from now nothing happens again, you whisper to yourself quietly. You take your sandwich and cup of coffee to the table, sit down and open your laptop. You start typing. You're a writer. You write different stories and articles on many topics. Soon, your thoughts are lost in your work. Hours pass without you realizing it. You don't hear any whisper. You don't see any shadows. For a moment, it feels like a peace has returned, but when you finally look up at the clock, the sky outside is already dark. Oh, I didn't realize I worked too much today. You stand up, stretch your arms, and take your plate and cup back to the kitchen. You start washing them, then suddenly you feel it again. The strange presence, someone is standing behind you. Before you can turn, you hear a voice. The same whisper from the morning, but this time it's clear. Go out before it's late. You turn quickly, heart racing. You want to see who's there, but before your eyes can focus, a plate from the rack flies toward you. You gasp and bend down. You don't even understand how, but it feels like someone pushed you down just in time. The plate hits the wall and shatters into tiny pieces. You stare at the broken plate on the floor with wide eyes. Breathing heavily, how? What's just happened? Slowly lift your head, that's when you hear it, the sound of a chair moving, the faint crack of a rolling chair sliding across the floor. You take a cautious step toward the kitchen door and peek through. There she is, the same girl you saw last night. She is sitting on a rolling chair, facing away, humming that same soft. She slowly moves the chair back and forth. You step back, your heart is pounding, your mind goes blank. Now you just stand there, frozen, thinking, what should you do next? You look at a box of salt on the kitchen counter. You take it, open it, and pour a little on the shelf. With your fingers, you write something on the salt. Then you gather the salt bag into a small cloth and tuck it into your side pocket. You take a slow step toward the living room where she was sitting. You breathe in deeply and push the door open. The chair is empty. You scan the room, searching every corner. Then you see something crawling on the wall, and there she is, moving like a spider, hands and feet sliding over the plaster. I hate spiders. Your skin prickles. You kneel and make a small circle of salt around your feet for protection. You feel a little safer holding it. You look at her, voice firm. I don't know who you are or what you are doing here, but leave this house. She only laughs, but you didn't know if she was laughing or crying, and it makes your head spin. For a second she despairs and you frantically look around. Then she is suddenly right behind you. This is the first time you see her face clearly. Her skin is pale as paper, like not a single drop of blood runs through her veins. Her eyes are completely white, her lips are black as if she wears dark lipstick. She looks like a teenage girl, small, fragile, but there is something wrong with her stillness. Before you can react, she lunges and tries to grab your neck. Your heart slams, your hand flies to your pocket. You pull out the salt and throw it at her. She screams and then she vanishes into the air like smoke. You glance around. Where did she go? You whisper. Then you hear soft murmurings like someone talking to themselves, and you peep under the staircase. There she is, sitting on the floor beneath the steps, whispering to herself in a voice you can't make out. Hey, listen, who are you? What is your name? And what are you doing in this house? Before you finish, she lets out a scream so loud and sharp that it hurts your bones. You drop to the floor, hands over your ears, but she keeps screaming. Sounds seem to pierce inside your head. You feel a sudden hot wetness, blood running from your ear, and a high beat rings inside your skull. You breathe hard. Daisy, she's stronger than I thought. You tell yourself, voice shaking. You look around, but she has gone again now. You stumble to your room nervously. You spread salt across the threshold, sprinkle it on the windowsill, and scatter a line on your bed. You wipe at your ear with the back of your hand and taste the metallic tang. You sit on the bed and think about the house dealer who sold you this place. I will kill him. He's scammer. I will talk to him tomorrow. You lay down on the bed, your mind still spinning because of her screams. Then you think about that whisper you don't understand. If she tried to attack you, then why did she say save your life? You keep thinking about you, don't realize after hours you finally sleep. Next morning you wake up because of a tapping sound. At first you ignore it, your eyes half open, but the sound continues tap tap. You sit up on the bed and look around in confusion. Then your eyes move toward the window. A black crow is sitting there tapping on the glass with his beak. Shoo shoo, fly away. The crow spreads its wings and flies away. You take a deep breath and run your hands through your hair. What a weird way to wake up. You stand up and go to the washroom. After taking a shower, you feel fresh and a little better. You come back to your room, sit on the sofa, and try to process everything that happened last night. You take your phone and dial the house dealer's number, but there's no response, only silence. You try again, but his phone is off. I knew it. He ran away. You put your phone down with frustration and lean back on the sofa. Your stomach growls softly. You're hungry. You look toward the room door and think for a moment. Then the memory of that whisper in the morning flashes in your mind. The one that told you to save your life. You remember you have never seen her in daylight, only heard whisper. At night she appears. You stand up slowly, heart beating a little faster. I hope she's not downstairs. You open your door carefully and peek out. The house is quiet. You take a deep breath and walk toward the kitchen. Everything looks normal. You start making breakfast and coffee. As the water boils in the kettle, steam rises and touches the cabinet's small mirror above the counter. You turn around for a moment to grab your cup, but when you look back at the cabinet, you freeze. The steam has formed words. The foggy mirror, clear and trembling, is written, "Help me." You stare at it, your heart pounding, and then in the reflection of the mirror, you see something. A figure, a man, standing behind you. You turn around instantly, but no one is there. The air feels heavy. What the? Last night it was a girl, but now a man? You look around the whole kitchen but find nothing. Confusion twists inside your chest. What's happening in this house? You pour the coffee into your cup with trembling hands and carry it back to your room. You sit on the sofa, take a bite of your sandwich, and whisper quietly to yourself, I need food for thinking. You eat slowly, your mind running wild. After breakfast, you stand up and start pacing around your room. I think in this house, two spirits lives. One is bad, she comes out after evening and tries to attack me. And the other one is good, he needs help. The good spirit whispered in my ear and he appeared in the day. But why? Why are both of them still in this world? Why didn't they go to their own world? You stop and sit back down on the sofa, your hand pressed to your forehead. Oh God, why am I thinking like a shaman? You sigh deeply and lean back, eyes staring at the ceiling, mind spinning with fear and confusion. You start to think about what to do next. Now you have two options. First, leave this house and never come back. Second, stay and help them find peace. Send them to their world. But one thought hits you harder than anything. How? Without anyone's help. I can't do this alone. You fall silent, staring at the window, lost in thought. Then you sigh softly and say, someone asked me for help. How can I refuse him? You pick up your plate and take it back to the kitchen. When you turn around, you stop near the counter and say clearly, I know you are here and watching me. If you want my help, then appear for yourself first. You wait for a few seconds, your eyes moving around the quiet kitchen, but no appearance. You wait for him, hoping he will answer, but there's nothing. The silence feels heavy. You sigh softly and walk to the living room, sitting down on the sofa. For a moment, you just stare at the wall, lost in your thought. You whisper to yourself, I think both of these spirits have a connection. That's why they both live here. Then you take your laptop and open it, searching for anything about this house, its history, the previous owner, any new articles, anything that might explain what's happening here. As you scroll, the air suddenly turns cold and heavy, like something invisible just entered the room. Then you feel it's someone sitting right in front of you on the opposite sofa. You can't see him, but you feel his eyes on you, a strong, serious gaze locked on your face. Slowly you lift your eyes, but the second you look, he disappears. Still his presence remains. You can feel it. I want to talk to you. If you really want my help, then come in front of me. You wait again, the air stays cold, but there's no answer. You sigh quietly and look back at your laptop, trying to focus on your search. Time passes, you don't even realize when your eyes start to close, your head leaning against the sofa cushion. The skin glows faintly beside you, you drift into sleep. When you suddenly wake up, it's because you feel someone gently touching your shoulder like they are trying to wake you up. Your eyes open immediately. You sit up and look around the room, but no one's there. You yawn and rub your eyes, then glances at the clock. Your eyes widen, it's evening already. You turn toward the window, the sky is almost black, the sun completely gone, the darkness feels heavier than usual. You stand up quickly from the sofa, planning to go to your room. You slip your shoes on and bend down to grab your laptop from the table. That's when you feel it a cold hand, colder than ice, wrapping around your waist. You freeze. Your breath catches in your throat. Slowly, you look down, pale fingers clutching your side, but before you can react, they vanish. You spin around fast, no one's there. Your heart starts pounding. You whisper shakily, she's here. And then before she can appear again, you run toward the stairs, but halfway up, without warning, something grabs you hard. You scream as your body is lifted off the ground and thrown backward. Crash into the wall with a loud thud and slide down, wincing in pain. It feels like your bones are breaking apart. You struggle to sit up, your vision blurry, and then you see her. She's standing right in front of you. Her hair hangs over her face, and that creepy, twisted smile curls her lips. Slowly, she reaches forward, grabs your neck, and lifts you off the ground. You kick and struggle, but her grip is like iron, cold, merciless. Your feet dangle in the air, your breath catches in your throat. Her wide, empty eyes stare into yours, and that smile. It's the smile of someone who's already decided to kill you. You claw at her arms, trying to escape, but she's too strong. Until suddenly, a loud voice echoes through the hall. Stop! The grip on your throat loosens. You fall hard to the floor, gasping for air, coughing and clutching your neck. You look up, your eyes widen there. Behind her stands a man. A glowing blue figure tall with a soft shimmering light surrounding him. The man, the second spirit. She freezes, her expression changing to anger and fear at the same time. If you touch her again, I will leave this house. You promised me you will never hurt anyone. She stands still, trembling with rage. Her face twists in fury before she lets out a piercing scream, the same horrifying sound as last night. You fall to your knees, covering your ears as the scream echoes through the hall, sharp enough to make your head ache. Just as suddenly as it began, she's despair. The house falls silent again. You slowly lowering your hands, breathing heavily. Then you look up. Man's spirit is still there. He walks towards you and kneels down beside you. Are you okay? You nod weakly, rubbing your shoulder where you hit the wall. I am fine, just sore. Go to your room before she comes back. She's angry and stubborn. You nod again, still catching your breath. Slowly you get up, your whole body aching. You walk upstairs, open your room door, and step inside. After closing it, you lean against the wall for a moment, exhaling deeply. You sit on the sofa, breathing heavily, your heart still racing from what just happened. The house is silent again, but you feel that familiar chill goosebumps rise on your arms. You exhale slowly. You know he's here. The air grows cold, but not in a scary way. Because he isn't evil, that's why the salt never affects him. You stand up and walk toward the mirror. When you tilted your head slightly, you see a faint red mark around your neck. The imprint of her cold grip. You gasp softly and touch it. You still despair, huh? For a few moments, there's no response. Air stays still, then slowly a faint blue light glows in the corner of your room, and there he is. Second spirit of the man stand there. His eyes filled with guilt. I'm sorry, because of me, she hurt you. Sigh and turn to him, your expression calm but tired. I was already prepared for it when I made up my mind to stay here and help both of you. I knew I had faced these things. It's my fault I slept in the living room. I didn't realize when evening came. You looked at him and add gently. You woke me up, didn't you? He nods slowly. You take a small step closer. What's your name? He stays quiet for a few seconds, then says softly, Jungkook. You repeated his name under your breath, your voice barely a whisper, Jungkook. It sounds familiar, like you have heard it before, maybe read it somewhere long ago. You look back at him again. Why didn't you go back to your world? Why are you both still stuck here? He doesn't answer. His expression turns distant, lost. Before you can say anything else, he whispers, I should go. Just like that, he vanishes into thin air. Hey, listen, but he's gone. You lie down on the bed, staring at the ceiling. Your thoughts drift to her pale face, her scream, her anger. You don't understand why she's like this. You keep thinking, lost in your thoughts, until sleep finally takes you. Next morning, you sit in your study room, typing on your laptop. The daylight filters through the window, warm and calm. You feel at peace for a while, but after some time, you pause, that cold feeling returns. Without looking up from the screen, you speak softly. How much longer are you going to stare at me? There's silence for a moment, then he appears. Jungkook sits on the sofa across from you, watching you quietly. How did you know I was here? You sigh, not even surprised. Because I can feel your presence. Jungkook tilted his head, a small smile tugging at his lips. That means I was right about you. You look at him confused. What do you mean? You are someone who knows about spirits. You gave a small smile, then take a deep breath. After my parents died, I lived with my grandma. She is a shaman. I have a little bit of powers, but I never wanted this life. I didn't want to deal with spirits or rituals. That's why I left the village and come here. But my grandma taught me enough. That's probably the only reason I am still alive, and that's why I'm not scared. You look at him quietly, and after a moment, he speaks again. I'm alive. You freeze. What? What do you mean? My body, I don't know where it is. I don't remember anything, but I'm alive. I'm stuck in this house with her, and if she knows I'm with you, she will get angry. Finally understand why Jungkook always hides, why he never appears completely. And your eyes fell on the necklace hanging around his neck, a beautiful piece shaped like a dragon face. You keep staring at it, that necklace. Where did you get it? I don't remember, but I have always worn it. You get an idea. You open your laptop and search for dragon face necklace meaning. The screen fills with results. Your eyes widen as you scroll. You whispering, this belongs to the royal family. You glance at Jungkook but stay silent, not wanting to tell him yet. You scroll down further, reading more, and your heart skips a beat. When you find the name Jeon Royal Family, you lean back, staring at the screen. Jungkook. Jeon Jungkook. You close the laptop and sit quietly for a while. Then you stand up, grabbing your bag. I will come back before evening. Jungkook looks confused, but you smile faintly. You get ready and head out of the house. Your heart racing with curiosity and fear, your destination clear in your mind. You are going to find Jeon Mansion and uncover the truth about Jungkook. You enter the grand mansion, your heart pounding in your chest. The air inside smelled faintly of jasmine and old food. A maid greeted you politely and you introduced yourself with a calm smile. Hello, I'm Jungkook's friend. I had like to meet Mrs. Jeon, please. The maid nodded and led you through the long hallway. As you walked, your eyes roamed around the mansion, was breathtaking, tall ceiling and every corner decorated with grace. When she asked you to wait in the living room, you sat down on the elegant sofa, your hands resting nervously on your lap. Your gaze wandered again. And then you saw them, the pictures hanging on the wall. One after another, all of Jungkook, looking like a prince. Seeing him like that, so alive and handsome, made your chest tighten. Then you heard the soft click of heels echoing against the marble floor. You turned around and quickly saw her, an elegant woman, graceful yet carrying sadness in her eyes. She stood up politely and smiled. Hello, my name is Fine. I am Jungkook's friend. Mrs. Jeon smiled gently and nodded. Please sit down, she both said, and before she could ask anything, she decided to lie and you had no other choice. I just came back from abroad. I heard about Jungkook, so I wanted to visit and know how he's doing. Mrs. Jeon let out a deep sigh. A sad smile touched her lips as she stood up. Come with me. You followed her silently through a quiet hallway. Then she stopped in front of a door, opened it slowly, and your eyes widened in shock. On the bed lay Jungkook. His face was pale, peaceful, his body still like he was only sleeping. Tubes and machines surrounded him, their soft beeping echoing in the silence. You froze, unable to move. Mrs. Jeon, with a trembling voice, I don't know what happened to him. The doctor said Jungkook is in a coma. It's been 8 years. He still hasn't woke up. You stepped closer, your eyes fixed on him. 8 years? Yes. One day he said he wanted to go abroad, but before he could leave, we found him unconscious in his room. Since that day, he never opened his eyes. You stood there quietly, your mind spinning. So he was telling the truth. He really is alive, but trapped. You clenched your fist slightly and you realized that only Jungkook knows the truth. And thought maybe if you show him pictures of his home, his mother, maybe it will help him remember something. You turned to Mrs. Jeon politely. Can I take some photos? Just for memory. She nodded softly. You took out your phone and carefully captured pictures of Jungkook, his mother, and the mansion. While taking photo, one particular frame caught your attention. In the picture, Jungkook stood beside a girl smiling. You froze when you saw her face. It was her, the same girl, the spirit haunting your house. You turned to Mrs. Jeon immediately. This girl, who is she? Mrs. Jeon with a soft voice, she is Jivon, Jungkook's cousin. They were very close, but one day before Jungkook left for abroad, she disappeared. No one could find her, and her parents left Korea for forever. Your heartbeat quickened. Do you know where she lived? Mrs. Jeon nodded and gave you the address. When you heard it, your eyes widened in disbelief. That was your address, the house you bought, the house you once lived in. You froze. Realization hit your heart. After a moment of silence, you stood up. Thank you for your time, Mrs. Jeon. I should leave now. As you stepped outside, the cold wind brushed your face. The sun was setting in the distance, and you whispered to yourself, Hold on, Jungkook. I will bring you back. You reached your house just before the evening. You go straight to your room and place your bag onto the table. After refreshing yourself, you opened your laptop and connect your phone to it, transferring all the pictures you took at the mansion. First then, you grab your phone and send a message to someone and saying, I need your help. Then you put your phone aside, take a deep breath, and wait for Jungkook. Night slowly spread across the sky. You know Jivon is now outside. Her presence feels heavier, darker. You whisper softly, Jivon, tonight is your last night. Then a chill runs down your spine, goosebumps covering your arms. You can feel Jungkook's presence nearby. You open your laptop and the picture of Jungkook's mother appears on the screen. You ask, "Do you know her?" After a brief pause, Jungkook appears. He sits beside you quietly. His eyes stay fixed on the screen as if he is trying to remember something. But your eyes remain on him. Your heart aches just seeing his expression. Then Jungkook whispers, almost trembling, "Mom?" You nod softly, "Yes, she is your mother." You slide the pictures, showing him his mansion, his room, and finally his body laying motionless on the bed. Jungkook's eyes widen as he stares in disbelief. You tell him everything about your visit to his mansion, about his mother, about how he belongs to the Jeon royal family, and finally you show him Jiwon's picture. "He's your cousin, Jiwon," you say quietly, "and she is the spirit haunting this house." Jungkook, it's been 8 years since that incident. Jungkook's eyes wide in shock. 8 years? He whispers, his voice breaking. Suddenly, he stands and walks toward the window. You can see the pain and realization on his face. "Oh, Jiwon, what did you do?" he said. Front slightly confused. "What do you remember, Jungkook?" He takes a deep breath. He turns to you. "Now I know everything. What's happened to me?" You listen quietly as he begins to speak. "Jiwon, she's my cousin, 10 years younger than me. One day she came to my room and said she loved me. I refused her. She was like a little sister to me, but she got angry, said that if I didn't accept her, she would kill herself. I tried to make her understand, but she wouldn't listen. She ran back to her home. After that, I thought she would calm down, but she kept calling, crying, texting. I decided to go abroad. I need space. I thought if I left for some time, she would move on, but when she heard that I was leaving, she called me and said, I will never leave you, not in life and not after death. That night, as I was packing my bag, I felt someone behind me. When I turned around, it was her. After that, everything went dark. When I opened my eyes again, I was here in this house. She bound my soul here. She said if I tried to leave, she had killed my family, and for years, and with time, I forgot everything, even my name. But she called me Jungkook, and that's how I know my name is Jungkook. I never saw anyone until you came. You sit there speechless. Jungkook looks at you with soft, sad eyes. I'm sorry, he said quietly, but I like seeing you. You made this house alive again. You gave me hope, something I thought I had lost forever. Your heart tightens. Emotions swirl inside you. You meet his gaze and say gently, Don't worry, Jungkook, I will bring you back. Neither of you realize that morning has already arrived. The first rays of sunlight peeked through the window. Entering the room, you have spent the entire night listening to Jungkook's story. And your phone buzzes with a message, on my way. A small smile appears on your face. You turn to Jungkook, let's start working. First we need to find something that belongs to Jiwon, something her spirit is born to. Jungkook nods slowly, then you must start with Jiwon's room. Stand up determined, alright, let's find it. With that, you head toward Jiwon's room, the place where everything began. Enter Jiwon's room and began searching everywhere, but time passed and you still couldn't find anything. You sighed deeply and sat down on the bed, brushing your hair back in frustration. How can I find something that connects with Jiwon? There must be something. As you whisper to yourself suddenly, you heard a faint tap tap. Sound just like that day when the crow tapped on your window. You slowly turned toward that window. You walked closer, but when you looked outside, there was nothing. You frowned, confused, and pushed the window open. As you leaned your head out to look below, that's when you saw it under the main window. There was a smaller one. A crow was sitting there, tapping its beak on the small glass. You felt your heart race. A faint sound echoed from beneath the floor. Your breath trembled. You quickly stepped back, your eyes scanning the floor. You grabbed the edge of the carpet and pulled it aside. Your eyes widened there. It was a small iron door covered in dust. Why didn't I see this when I cleaned this room before? You looked at Jungkook, who stayed silently near the door. You took a deep breath, your hand trembling as you reached for the handle and opened it. A strange rotten smell hit your nose immediately. You covered your mouth with your sleeve and started descending the narrow stairs that led to the hidden basement. The air was damp and heavy. You entered in, then you stopped frozen. Your eyes widened in horror. A skeleton was hanging from the ceiling by a thick rope. bones yellowed. You felt your whole body go cold. This is John's skeleton. She committed suicide. Turned around and saw Jungkook standing still, his eyes wide and glassy. His lips trembled as he stared at the skeleton. The pain on his face was unreadable to watch. He slowly looked around and gasped again. Every wall was covered with Jungkook's picture, hundreds of them, different ages, different places. Every photo showing him smiling. Jo crouched down and saw the floor. A dark red magic circle was drawn on the ground, surrounded by melted candles and creepy handmade dolls. She sacrificed herself to become an evil spirit. The moment Jo said that, the air turned thick. The candle flickered violently. Jo and Jungkook felt a dark presence filling the basement. The temperature dropped sharply. "Oh, go out now." Jo turned to run, but before Jo could take another step, something invisible grabbed Jo and threw Jo out the basement. Hit the wall hard, Jo's forehead splitting open. Blood trickled down Jo's face. "And are you okay?" Jo struggled to Jo's feet, breathing heavily. "Jungkook, leave this room now." He looked at Jo, shaking his head and willing to leave Jo alone. Go, and in that instant, he disappeared, vanished, like mist. Ji-won stood in the corner now, her long hair floating slightly. Her white eyes glowed faintly as she stared at Jo. Jo could feel it. She would kill Jo. Touch your bleeding forehead, then dipped your finger into the blood. Jo stumbled toward the basement door and began to write something on it with your blood. Ji-won's expression shifted, fear flashed in her eyes. She couldn't leave the room, and she couldn't enter the basement either. She groaned in anger, her voice deep. Suddenly, she screamed and ran toward Jo, holding your neck with an icy grip. Jo struggled to breathe, your vision blurring. Then bang! The room door burst open. A tall figure stood there, his voice echoing through the room. "Leave my cousin." Ji-won's face twisted in fear. She released you immediately, backing away into the corner. Jo fell to the floor, coughing and holding your throat. When Jo looked up, relief flooding through you. "Yoongi, why did you come so fast? Were you waiting for my funeral?" Yoongi smiled slightly, with a small grin. "You know how about the traffic is." Despite your pain, a weak smile formed on your lips. "Yoongi, your cousin, the one you grew up with, had always been there for you. Strong shaman trained to deal with the dead and evil spirits. He was the one you had called for help." Step forward, looking around the room, then at Ji-won. "For this little one you called me, you couldn't have handled her." Clear at him. "Yoongi, she's strong." Yoongi raised an eyebrow and then smiled softly. Okay, let's see how strong she really is." Dropped his black leather bag on the floor, kneeling down. He took out amulets, salt, and a small bottle of fire liquid. The faint smell of herbs filled the air as he began whispering ancient words. Ji-won screamed, clutching her head, covering her ears. "Stop it, please." Jungkook didn't stop. His chanting grew louder. The candles flickered wildly, shadows crawling across the walls like dark snakes. He looked at you and shouted, "Now, Wyan, go to the basement." You nodded quickly, grabbed half of the amulets and the bottle, and ran down. The smell of truth filled your nose again, but you didn't stop. Began placing the amulets on the walls one by one, whispering prayers under your breath. You turned to Ji-won's skeleton, your voice trembling. "Goodbye, Ji-won." You poured the fire liquid over the skeleton and around the circle. Ji-won's scream echoed through the house as you lit a lighter and threw it into the basement. Flames erupted instantly. You ran up the stair and slammed the door shut. You leaned against the door, then you called Jungkook. Jungkook suddenly appeared beside you. "You didn't leave this room? Why? You could have been in danger." "How could I leave you alone?" Your eyes met his gaze, soft and full of emotion. "You two can continue your love story later. Now focus." Both ran toward him, sitting in the circle. The three of you held hands tightly. You and Yoongi began chanting together in a loud, commanding voice. Yoongi then stood, grabbing the salt and one amulet, and walked toward Ji-won, who was trembling in the corner. Pressed the amulet on her forehead and threw salt over her. In that instant, Ji-won's spirit transformed. Her face softened, her eyes turned gentle, her lips became pink again. Jungkook looked at her, his eyes filled with pain and forgiveness. A thin silver thread appeared between them, and slowly it broke apart. Ji-won's soul smiled one last time. "I'm sorry, Jungkook." And she disappeared into light. Then Jungkook turned to you. Thank you, Vian. Before Joe could respond, his spirit faded away too, returning to his body. Joe stood there in silence, whispering, "Everything's fine now." Jungi helped Joe back to the living room, cleaned your forehead wound, and placed a bandage on it. "You are brave." Joe faced an evil spirit alone. Joe smiled weakly. After some time, Jungi stood up, stretched his arms, and hugged Joe tightly. "Little cousin, I have more appointments. Try not to invite more ghosts till I return." Joe laughed softly as he left. Evening fell. Joe sat alone in the living room. No whisper, no shadows, no spirits. The house finally felt peaceful, but Joe's heart ached. Joe missed Jungkook. Joe sighed and went to your room, falling asleep from exhaustion. The next morning, Joe was sitting in living room, working on your laptop, when the doorbell rang. Joe froze. Since that day, Joe had moved here. It had never rung before. Joe slowly walked to the door and opened it, and Joe's eyes widened in disbelief. There he was, Jungkook, standing in front of Joe in a black suit. His guards behind him. Joe stands still in shock and freeze. "Aren't you going to invite me inside?" "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just shocked to see you." Step in, looking around the house. It looks different now. Joe both sit on sofa. After some silence, he turned to Joe, smiling warmly. "Vian, thank you." You're trying to smile. "Oh, come on. That's my job. Every shaman does this." "But not you. You're not a complete shaman, and you did it for me." Joe looked down, your heart racing. He took a deep breath, stepped closer, and gently held your hand. "Vian, will you marry me?" Your eyes widened, your breath caught in your throat. You want to marry me?" "You are the one who stayed by my side no matter what. From the first time I saw you, I liked you. So please don't say no." Your smile, tears glistening in your eyes. "Yes, I will." He pulled you into his arms, hugging you tightly. For the first time in so long, your heart felt warm and safe, because inside you, somewhere, you also like him. Time skipped. 1 year later, you sat in the mansion's garden, lost in memories of that haunted house. The breeze carried the scent of flowers. The world finally peaceful again. A car pulled up and you looked up smiling. Jungkook stepped out, holding a little girl's hand. Little Hana running towards you. "Mama, I am back." You laughed, catching her in your arms. Jungkook walked towards you, his eyes filled with love. He smiled softly before leaning in to kiss your forehead. "Let's go inside, Vian." You looked at him, your heart full. After everything, the pain, the fear, the ghost, finally, you both start new life together.